It is mission day. It's time to recheck all your apps and websites to make sure that the airspace is clear. You may be surprised to find that something may have occurred that prevents you from being able to launch. This happens, so be prepared. You may find yourself in a no-fly zone. The first thing you should do the morning of an operation is to make sure that you are ready to go. It's time to take a self-assessment test for safety, also known as the I'm Safe rule. I'm Safe identifies the conditions that can impair a remote pilot's ability to fly safely. I stands for illness. Are you sick? M for medication. Are any medications affecting your judgment or making you drowsy? S for stress. Are job or personal issues causing you concentration or performance problems? A for alcohol. Have you been drinking in the last 8 hours? F for fatigue. Are you tired? And E for emotion. Are you emotional? Because remote pilots pose the most risk to a successful operation. So you really need to be sure to self-assess on the morning of the operation. Once you have your location, you can do a pre-flight. It's good to know your location before accepting the assignment, but on the morning of the operation, you need to do a pre-flight again. Flight operation locations can be identified by address, legal description, tax identification number, or even latitude and longitude coordinates. Are there any restrictions that would prevent you from being able to handle the assignment? These restrictions typically involve the classification of airspace and proximity to an airport. So be sure to notify your client if restrictions exist, and then go and see if you can get the authorization to fly. I also like to do an internet search of the state, county, and even city where the operation is going to take place. Your final checks of airspace should be completed when you're on the site, and then I'll take a screenshot as proof. Can you handle the mission? Make sure that you have the right equipment and crew to handle the operation. If not, then make the arrangements to obtain the proper equipment. Do you need a crew? The remote pilot is responsible for everything, including the crew. The crew can include a cameraman, visual observer, crowd control, and even an FAA official to make sure the operation runs smoothly. Each member of the crew is responsible for making sure that the drone's operation is safe and does not endanger people or property. However, the crew must all have a clear line of communication with the pilot. It's time to inspect the aircraft and check the equipment to make sure that you'll be able to fly safely. Inspect the airframe structure. Make sure that it is secure and there are no loose parts. Visually inspect the condition of everything. This includes your extra parts, propellers, screws, tools, etc. Are you ready to fly? Your equipment's airworthy, but are your batteries fully charged? You want to make sure you charge everything the night before an operation and you'll be ready to go. Some of the items you might want to consider include drone batteries, iPad or tablet, iPhone or Android phone, controller, and even those portable battery chargers. Is your firmware updated? Check your firmware either the night before or the morning of an operation to make sure that it is up to date. Update your drone in a location where you get a good signal for the fastest updates. If you are in a remote location and your drone has a required update, it could take a lot more time to get it. Nothing is worse than arriving at a site only to be delayed because you have to download updated firmware. When looking at your flight app, make sure that you're good to go. You're looking for visibility, wind, cloud cover. So in this one, the clouds are at 459 feet AGL. Remember, you can't fly until you can fly 500 feet below the cloud cover. So you may have to wait till the clouds disperse a little bit and clear out. So in conclusion, let's review before you get started. Know your boundaries. What are you capable of handling? Pick your spot. Where are you going to stand to fly? You want to make sure that you're out of the shot. Know the weather. Is it going to be windy? Is it going to be rainy? Are there any conditions with the weather that might impede your ability to fly? Make sure that your drone is charged. Make sure your controller is charged. Check your battery life. Determine how much flight time you might have left. Do that pre-check of the drone. Test your camera. Make sure that it's synced to the controller. Make sure you have enough batteries for the mission. And finally, do you have enough storage space, such as in storage cards or cloud, to be able to store the images that you're going to be capturing? I hope you've enjoyed yourself today. I've certainly enjoyed delivering this to you. Thank you.